I was listening to your project. Listen, I was like, first of all, I'm gonna be like her when I grow up. Cause like, you don't care about no guy. I was but you ain't letting them stop you. I'm like, okay, she's like real free spirited. So what
Yeah.
inspired the project though? I'm like, was it a journey through life or like one particular moment? Because we went through a whole like it looked like it was a story flow. Okay.
It's a flow. Like it's definitely like different moments throughout life. I would say like from so as you listen to the project, like you can hear, like you said, it's a story.
Yeah.
And every song represents at some point in my life something I was going through in some relationship, whether it was a relationship with a man, relationship with my like self, you know, my personal growth, or a relationship with God. So it's all like kind of like entangled. But everything, the thing that inspired it is that I feel no longer indecisive about who I am, what I want to do. But I figured, I was like, I gotta start somewhere. I need to get a base, a starting point. So I can always look back and be like, my first project was pretty much a snapshot of what my life was before I decided like exactly how I wanted to live, exactly how I wanted to be, and like pretty much just give myself complete freedom to be that person. So
Yes, and it gave me freedom. Like, listen, I said this is for anybody who trying to figure it out, figuring out, or going through the figuring out. Okay, like, this is definitely the support you need, motivation, all of that. Like, stick to it, girl. Just stick to
yes, that's exactly
it.
what I wanted it to be. I'm so glad because it's crazy. It's like sometimes you shy. Like it's interesting because I could write from different perspectives. That's why I never like to box myself in as type of artist because I have country songs that I've written. Like I haven't recorded them, but like I write all types of music all the time. Just like it comes right off the top of the dome. So I never want to like box myself in case I want to dibble and dabble into some different stuff. But all the things that like literally inspired this project was like that stuff that like, you know, you going through with your girlfriends because if they going through it, you going through it too.
Yeah.
You're going through it too. And then just your own personal battles. And I wanted it to like at the end to be one of those things like, damn, I feel like I can get through all that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So let's talk about your first single, Wave. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I like that. It was like a real switch up. You know, it. Let's talk about it though, because they ain't heard it. So
A wave is like it's exactly what it is. It's so funny because it's so smooth, but it's one of those things where if you're not listening to the message, you won't really like hear
that's exactly
it.
what happened. I was like listening to it, and I was like, wait a minute.
She
Okay.
turned it off. Just right in like in a different way. It's so funny because people would be like, just chill, just vibe. You know, I have a friend, he'd be like, just vibe, like chill out. And it's so funny because that's exactly like how I thought about it. Like in a sense, like you just doing too much. Like, and so it inspired it from there. But I love very like smooth beats, like so you'll never like catch me on no hard beat. So it was funny. I was like, I'm gonna switch it up on this one.
And it was switched up. Like the fact that it's the female saying, "Oh, you doing too much." Like the whole
Exactly.
project was a switch up. First of all, I'm like, you was like really gangster. Okay, you was like smooth gangster.
It's funny because I know a lot. Like I have a cousin who always saying like, I'm tired of being the NIGGA and all these relationships. Like I'm tired of being that. I'm tired of
Man,
being. And it's funny because like in a lot of my past relationships, thank God for my husband, but a lot of my past relationships, I was always the one like giving a pick me up, like you can do this. Like I always want kind of making more money, like all this. So it's funny because it's really like part of me and part of my story. But in a sense, I wanted to switch it up in that way because they always like females are always the one. I'm so heartbroken, no, bro. I'm the one over here breaking hearts, bro.
like you breaking them off. I'm like, and then I'm like, yo, husband. Okay, so does he question some of your songs? You're probably like, wait, who is this about? Okay, please let me know.
That's so funny. Like it's funny because when people listen to the album, I'm pretty sure you're not the only one that's gonna have that thought. No, he's been a part of the whole creative process, and he
Okay.
understands. Like before I met him, I'm not a completely different person. Like I'm still the same person, just evolved. So he understands there's experiences, relationships, all these different things that I went through before he even came into the picture. And a part of the journey of kind of not being so indecisive about everything and what I want to do and who I want to be came from meeting him.
Okay.
So as you get to the end of the, end of the project, as you heard,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where a part of that, transformation and a part of that, like being decisive and being like, okay, no, this is what I really want, came from meeting someone who is very decisive and very, very strong and like, look, find your foundation and just go for what you want. Like, you're not going to please everybody. So.
And that's really good to have, for sure.
Yeah.
So what made you choose Wave as your single?
That is such a helpful question. So let me see, was this in June? No, it was in May. So in May, I wrote this song. It probably took me like 30 minutes to write it. I wrote it and then I recorded it like the next day, and I just recorded it and then I went to the studio. So I record everything here in my home studio, like legit this right here. And so I go to my studio engineer who like does all the technical stuff, so mastering and all that. And he was mixing it and everything. So I left the studio and I was listening to it in the car because that's like my ritual. I leave the studio and I just ride around to listen to what he just mixed so I can find all the edits, whatever. And I'm listening to it and I just started crying because like I just knew, like it was like something just saying like the universe coming full circle, like this is a hit, sis. Like like if you just honor your gift, like I'm gonna give it back to you, I promise. Like that's what I felt God saying, and I was just in the car like it's that alpha female vibe, without being too hard. You know what I'm saying? Without being too aggressive.
The only reason why is because your voice is so smooth, child. The beat is so smooth. I'm talking about if you just put a little bit of it, it'll be real gangster. I'm trying to pick it. It's just it's a sweet bit of message. It's like
it is.
All right.
Alona.
Right. And then your second single, Self-Talk. So what would you say the difference is between those, and why did you choose that one as your second single?
So there's a couple of different reasons why I chose Self-Talk as my second single. It's definitely a contrast of Wave, and I wanted to show, because I know people that listen to all different types of music. I listen to all types of music. So Wave, I feel like is a little bit more R&B, commercial, like that sort of vibe. Like it can work on the radio, it can work at a party, like whatever. Self-Talk is definitely more conscious. So I know like my brothers and my sisters and my people that just love that music where you got to listen to the song like 2-3 times to really get everything in there, because there's so many alliterations and so many different things going on. And I'm also rapping in that one, which is like complete. I won't say it's out of my comfort zone, because I definitely feel like I can do anything as long as I just put my mind to it. But it's definitely something different. Like I had no intention on rapping the album. It just like when I heard the beat, I was like, nope, I already know that. So I wanted to show the contrast in my talent, and then I also wanted to show the contrast in the type of music that I produce. Like I don't want to show that I'm a one-trick pony, because like I said, when people ask me what kind of artist are you, it's like, I don't know. You kind of got to listen to my music and see.
Right. Like, what's today?
Exactly. How are you feeling today? Let me listen to this song by her.
Okay, so then you're gonna do the visuals for that after you release the album. What can we?
Yes, so excited. So me and my husband, we actually like did all the recording and everything for that video, and it was so funny because at first I was like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to do this? And then like I woke up that morning, I was like, no, we're doing this. Like we're going to do all of it ourselves. Cause I already had the vision of what I like, how I wanted to portray the song. And only someone who can hear the song can actually understand why, like what is all entailed. But it's so many different, I would say, to describe the song, let me go back. To describe the song, self-talk, sometimes you just need to have a self-talk with yourself. Like, whether it's positive, whether you tell yourself, look, you need to shut the hell up. Like, sometimes you got those thoughts, those negative thoughts that are just like this. And sometimes the other side of you just need to be like, nope, we're going to do this. We're going to make this work. Like, come on. And so it's kind of like all those voices having a conversation and battling it out in one song. And so I already knew the visual for how I wanted to portray that. So It is going to be coming out a week after the album comes out. And I would say I have a super dope video editor that's working on that right now. And I am going to be doing like little previews of what the video is going to look like in the next couple of weeks. So everybody just stay tuned.
What's your favorite song off the project?
That is a really good question. It's so many different vibes. I'm trying to think. I would say Right Now, because I feel entitled to change my mind if I want to. I would say my favorite song on the album is Self-Talk. Okay. Yeah, I would say that because it's kind of like that spring has sprung feeling. It's that, you know, the rose finally start budding out of a concrete feeling type. And that's what I'm feeling right now. So
I'm like, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, girl. So I would say that one.
Yeah. Okay.
What was your favorite song on the album?
Well, I like Wave. I'm not good at names. Give me a second. I'm good at numbers. Don't do me like that. Oh, and this ain't working. That's real decisive. Yeah. That's like, I'm reclaiming my moment in time. Like, give me that back. Okay.
Thank you.
No, like, I'm not joking. Like, this album, I had to like remember who you were, because I'm like, what am I listening to? Like, this sounds really good. And it's like my whole soul, my life, whether I'm in it now, been in it, you know, all of that. So that was
I'm so glad that you said that, because
everybody.
I'm so glad you said that, because that's exactly what I wanted to be for. Like, I wanted to be for, I mean, really, it's that feminine voice. And I think sometimes when women are confident, or when they are, you know, saying like exactly what they want, exactly how they want it, it's like all these things, like with an attitude, or, you know what I mean? Like, Black women always got to have some sort of stigma when they get like, no, this is how I want it, and I'm not accepting anything else, and you know, I'm not settling, basically. And something always comes along with that, whether it comes from our brothers or other people, it always comes along where some sort of stigma attached to it. And this album is like, and so what?
Indecisive, out the 28th of August. Is going to be available on all platforms.
All platforms.
Yes. And we're gonna be waiting for Self-Talk to drop your favorite song. Okay. Y'all to drop. We're very excited about that. And I'm excited. Yes. And before you go, just let everybody know where they can follow you at on Instagram and all your social handles and all that.
So on Facebook and Instagram, you can follow me at the Alona Decade. And that's exactly how it sounds, like TheAlona Decade. And then for my website, it's thealonadecade.com. And then the only thing that doesn't have the D on there is Twitter. So on Twitter, it's just Alona Decade. So make sure you follow me on Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Facebook and Instagram and on my website so you don't miss anything. And I do want to make sure that I mention I am going to be going through a little mini series that I put together. Okay. Yes. So my mini series is going to actually be starting tomorrow. So starting tomorrow for 10 days, I'm going to be posting short little like 1-minute videos on my Instagram page that's going to be talking about each song in the album. A lot of people, like when I mentioned it to some of my friends, they were like, why would you do that? You should let people just listen to it. And I was like, I would be excited. Like you said, when you were listening to it, you were like, wait, who am I listening to? Because I'm humble. I'm a humble in being. I am. But I'm going to say, I'm going to flex the muscle real quick. It's a strong first album. So I want to get people as engaged as possible and excited about it. So the little mini series that I put together, every video will be posted on my Instagram feed, and then I'll have like a little preview of it on my story. So make sure you follow me, if nothing else, on Instagram, so you're not missing that, because I'm giving a little tea, not a lot, a little tea. And you get to know me a little bit more, like my personality, because I know when it comes to branding and all of that, that's what people really want. What's the vibe? What you giving me? Who are you? You know, so make sure you follow the Alona Decade so you don't miss the mini series, which is called Songs of Indecisive. 10 mini episodes.
And look, your girl over there putting in work. Okay, listen.
Lots.
Excited. Definitely excited about it. But again, congratulations and thank you so much for your time. I can't wait till the 28th.
Yay!